We back for another episode of Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast, collab with Iggy's Loudmouth podcast. On this segment of the podcast, we gonna get in our R&B vibes, our R&B bag real quick. You know what I mean? For the categories that we're gonna discuss here is gonna be the top 3 R&B EPs of 2020 and the top 10 R&B albums of 2020. Behind the scenes, Iggy was talking like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. This might be a crazy year for the R&B. But before we continue on, man, I'm gonna introduce my co-host from Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast to my left in the box, and then we'll follow up with Iggy. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Like he said, co-host from Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast, Mr. Prez. And Iggy. Then who else we got?
I'm Iggy from Iggy's Loudmouth podcast, man. This is gonna be it. I've been looking forward to this category because this was the toughest for me.
And again, because I didn't introduce myself to begin with, I'm Cash, aka Exec P, because I'm terrible at this, and I just want to get to the topics because I just want to talk music. So with that said, boys, I know y'all got y'all list ready. Who wants to go first? I'm gonna go last as I let us in. So who want to go first?
Which one are we doing first?
We're going to do the top 3 EPs and then albums.
I'll go first. I'll tell you what. I'll jump out on that. So we're going to start with the top 3 EPs, man, R&B EPs. If you listen at the mid-year review, I kind of snuck one in that was an EP that in the album category that wasn't legit. So we created this category. This is the reason we created this for me. And I'm going to throw the album that I had up in there, Roy Wood, Them Times. That's going to be my number 3 R&B EP, and I just like that whole thing, man. It was just it just flows. Then I got Summer Walker, Life on Earth EP. Once again, Summer Walker, man. Like, if you don't know now, like, you just nice. Like, she helped me out on some of my categories. It's gonna be in my top R&B just by being featured on those. Just having her favorite and just like getting all her music to drop towards me. And then we got Black with the Hot EP. Once again, man, anytime this dude just drops, man, it's just good music. I don't think he dropped anything bad yet that I done heard, or anything that's looking like he's gonna taking a step back. It's all forward, all good stuff coming from Black, man. So,
all right, Iggy, you up next, man. What's your top 3 EPs?
Yeah, man. So my 3. So my third is Closer to Mars by Mario. Man, this shit was fire, man. And Mario, he not trying to find a sound. It felt like he was letting it come to him. And I like the shorter tracks because it makes you be attentive to that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was a straight no skips. Let me see if I can find the songs that I was really rocking with real quick. And then the next one,
I know it's like it was the second song on that album. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I remember that one was like real good.
Pretty Mouth Magic and Crowns and Diamonds.
Yeah,
those 2 right there, bro. Those 2 right there was. He started it out hot with the concept of the Mars thing, but when he went into like the Black Queen, like those 2 songs right there were really good. And so that was my third. My second, he's in my top R&B as well. And this EP was dropped. This was a good year for this guy. Xavier, he was on Drake's mixtape, but the EP's called When It's All Said and Done. And the title track on there is my favorite track. It's only 4 songs, I think. And he dropped the album and shit. We'll get to that when it's R&B, but his voice is, I don't know if any listeners like Sampha. He's very similar to him, but it's a little bit more, I think, deeper and clear because he's just, that's his sound. So that was my second. And then my first was the same as Prez, 6-piece Black. ATL Freestyle is one of my favorite songs of the year. So definitely had to put him in there. Black's having a great run since he started. He's only gotten better, so it's good to see. I can't wait to hear his next full album, see what he got.
Cool. Okay. All good, solid selections. I haven't heard, I think 2 of them. So I think is his name Javion?
Javion, yeah. G-I, yeah,
Okay.
G-I-V.
Taking that down as we speak.
I'll be talking about him later. He's in my R&B.
What's the name of it? When it's all said and done?
EP is called When It's All Said and Done.
Gotcha. All right, I'll add it. So at number 3, I got, and this is a cat that I've been following for a while or whatever. So it's Pink Sweats. I don't know if y'all rock with him or whatnot. It's called The Prelude. Pink Sweats.
He said it.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm in my bag, man. This is where I'm home, man. This is where I'm home.
Hit it with the Snoop. Who?
Hey, man. This is where I'm in my bag. So it's Pink Sweats.
Pink Sweats.
Hey, man. You gonna remember it. You gonna remember it, Prez. Now
y'all usually make me come back and like, well, I should have disrespected. I shouldn't have did that. Like, so I'm hoping you stay true on this one.
Yeah, man. And he
that name just gets me. That name just gets me.
Yeah, it's unique. It's unique. Pink Sweats with a $sign on the S at the end of Sweats. You know what I mean? So you can find it. You know what I mean? It should come up. It should come up for you. But anyway, at number 2, I got Masego with Studying Abroad. So you've heard him on a lot of things with Dreamville and whatnot. So this dude is like super talented, plays a lot of instruments, does a lot of production, and he sings as well. Y'all just go listen to Studying Abroad, and I'm guaranteed that y'all gonna feel it. And last but not least is Black, man. Like, I've returned to this. I've returned to this joint. This, if he would have had 6 more songs, he probably would have had Album of the Year. From my perspective. Like, and I got some hard hitting Album of the Years in my list. So that's how much I'm eager to hear his next project, because the one prior to this was fire. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think his trajectory is going to be through the roof. And I think he just didn't drop a whole entire album this year because of the pandemic. But when the world opened back up and he could tour some of this music, bro, sky's the limit for him, man. He also killed a lot of his features on Spillage Village as well. So, yeah. But Black for me, man. So we all got Black at number 1 on the EPs. That's crazy. We ain't discussed it beforehand. All right.
When you know something's good, it's good, right?
Yeah, man. It's good, man. But speaking of good, let's go to great. And this year for R&B, look, hip-hop held us down. Hip-hop held us down. But I got to say, R&B, they kept the foot on our throats, man. Like, between these EPs and these albums that we about to announce, they gave us some fire for 2020, and I could do nothing but appreciate it, man, because they didn't have to put out these bodies of work, man, but they definitely got me through. So everybody in these top 10, shout out to y'all, man, because y'all got us through some troubling times, man. So who wants to start out with their top 10?
Man, I start out once again, yes, man. I can go ahead and
you got it, Prince.
So at number 10, I got Chris Brown and Young Thug, Slime and B. Hey, man, that album just plays on constantly around the house, like when I'm listening at it.
Slim Thug.
What you got? Man, my fault. My fault.
Hey, it's a good.
You know what I meant to say? I meant to say Young.
Hey,
I meant to say Young.
I just want you to
slime
briefly. Speak on it briefly.
Did I say Slim Thug?
No. You said Slime.
I said Slim Thug.
You said Slime. You said it right. I said Slim Thug. My bad.
Oh, my bad.
Young Thug. But just explain this pick, just real quick.
Man, you know how I feel about Chris Brown, and I say like he kind of messed up R&B. That's why you really want me to hit on it. And then the fact I'm putting it in my top 10. He makes good music, though. He makes good music. I said, like, my problem with...
He said he killed R&B. That's what he said Chris Brown did at one point or another.
Well, once again, I said because you got to let it get it out. Let it get it out, man. I know Chris Brown is good. I said what everybody, like, what the industry messes up, they always try to imitate what's going on. And I feel like some things don't need to be imitated. It's a one-of-one, and that's what's good about it. Like Chris Brown himself is a great artist. It's when everybody else try to match that vulgarness or whatever with that Chris Brown can serenade and make it sound good in a way. Like, and they can't match up to it. That's the part that's what I was flat out believe that. That's what I'm saying. So Chris Brown, in a sense, is good. It's just like when everybody else try to imitate that, that's where it kind of fails. And I say that is where he kind of messed up by him being that great at what he does. And it led off to the imitation or the music industry trying to replicate that. And that is what kind of ruins the R&B, because instead of letting the people do what.
How you get blamed for being great? And everybody want to kill you like, come on, man. How does it?
I'm not blaming Chris Brown. I never blame Chris Brown. I said it's the industry what it is, and they're trying to replicate.
Kill it. He can't kill it. That's just the industry chasing him.
Yes, once again, but by default, what causes that is what he started. Like by him being like. It's nothing negative about Chris Brown. I don't want y'all to take it that way. That's not where I'm going. I'm saying like the industry being what it is and trying to replicate the same stuff. This worked for him. It's going to work for everybody. No, not every time. It's not going to work for everybody else. It don't even make the good sound. It's like, hey, you should have stayed in your lane and just let that person be. And that's where like, so once again, y'all getting too deep into this. That's number 10. So Chris Brown, Young Thug, man, both of them are unique and in both of their perspective, put them together, man. You got a great combination of music, man. So Slime and B. Next, we got Teyana Taylor, the album. When y'all first mentioned this, I was just like, I don't know. But like with most things on here, man, sometimes when it sits with me, I start kind of feeling it, getting the vibe, and that's definitely how I came around with Teyana Taylor. Definitely flows, definitely good music, great music that she put out there. She can sing. She's a great performer, great point blank, and can't knock that. Even if the initial listen don't drag me, like maybe it's that next time that I do hear it, it's just wrong mood at sometimes, and that's what it was. And bam, Teyana Taylor is up in there. Next is Kailani, and it was good until it wasn't. Once again, like she's been mixed around with a couple. She's been featured on a couple of rap songs I didn't too much care for, but when it came to her album and what she was doing on, like man, she killed every project that she was on here, and it was a great body of work and all. And we talked about this at the mid-year review. Once again, it's for all those same reasons. Janae Aiko, Chilambo, and that's another one. Spoke on that at the mid-year review. Still held in my top 10 once again. And then what's new came in was Day, the Amanda tape. Didn't know who these people were. Popped up, listened to a Wale song, heard them, went and delved a little bit deeper into their album. Great body of work that they have. Definitely go check that out if you haven't heard them. Little group that's coming out. And then number 5, which is going to be a big surprise, St. John, Why the World Was Burning. This is going to be the second time I had to come back on some of my words on that, because St. John, when it came out, I was just like, I'm not feeling it. But then I didn't see it visually like he seen it. I went and seen that YouTube. And then now I grasp what he was trying to drop. And I would say, go watch that YouTube video if you need to know. I'm telling you, fellas, this album is perfect. It's a great album. Just the dude does it. He's the negative that they're gonna try to say that I put on there is I say he's a Post Malone, but more rhythm, more rhythm.
That was very
and like he killed it.
Disrespectful comparison, by the way, when you made it.
You said
that's this. So y'all hate Post Malone?
I don't hate Post Malone. I just feel like he's more talented than Post Malone.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying too. I'm saying, but the initial like stuff I heard on, it was just like you could switch him or Post Malone up in those hooks where I initially heard him, but when I gave his music and his album a try, totally different. The dude has better range and everything else on.
I disagree.
I think that if you listen to the first
with the Post Malone, the comparison.
I think
in general.
I don't see it. I think in the collection, and if you listen to the collection first one, St. John did, you won't say that because I don't think Post Malone could have did that album. In my opinion, I think that's strictly a St. John. He's very more Post Malone rock, but it's rock elements in it, but it's very.
So what's Post Malone?
I would say I guess he's rock hip. I don't know, whatever that lane is.
So you can't see how I'm grasping that. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't understand like how I'm grasping. Like they in that same. They both in a different lane than everybody else, but they're following like a similar trajectory in that portion, like a rock more infused vibe. But he does it better. That's what I'm saying. St. John. I would never include Post Malone. I don't like Post Malone stuff in that. He wouldn't be in my top 10 of anything. But I'm saying St. John. He's in my top 5. The dude does it. If you got the same similar thoughts as I did, but St. John is a different type of breed. The dude is more musically inclined. He killed this album. I don't want to. Yeah, and like I said, like I was in a different headspace and I was thinking one thing, but until I actually dove into the album and actually listened, like really, really put myself in the space and listen, man, all I had to do was give it a chance, and I gave it a chance, and man, it shot up to my top 5 immediately. My number 4, Kiana Lede, Kiki. Once again, I spoke on this in our mid-year review. Still feel the same. Like this was a shocker. Got introduced to her by her features, and then seeing they was featured on her album, fell into her album. So it was a surprise for me when I first heard it. Loved the whole album. So that's where that goes. Now, number 3, this is where y'all gonna come in again. The Weeknd, After Hour. Everything that y'all say, I think totally different. The Weeknd has a defined sound, and the dude kills it every time, man. Like you say he has the more pop infused or all this, and you want to go back, but how I like where he's going with each and every one of his albums, and like I appreciate the music that he's going to. I can see where some of the songs where y'all were saying like it was too much in a different area. He did experiment a little bit more on this one, but y'all can't tell me like Snow Child, and a couple more of his hits on that wasn't just straight art. He had like 3 or 4 cuts on there that was just like straight R&B. That killed it. So he gave you more what you wanted on that album.
It's further down my list on R&B. Sorry, it's just too good of a year for me to give R&B that pass.
Yeah, I can't have him that. I couldn't even have him that high if it was me. Too much EDM and too much weird.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Let's leave it at the Weeknd to perform this time. You'll see him at the Super Bowl. We don't need you to do it again. I promise you that. The dude sounds a lot better than that. Don't knock him. At number 2, once again, The Vision, Amusing the Feelings. This comes from my mid-year review. It still holds up, man. That one right there, man, was pushing as the top album of the year still for me. But if it didn't get beat out by the one and only Trey Songz, Back Home. I almost had about 6 more kids this year off that album, man. I'm telling you, Trey Songz. Trey Songz. Hey, you put that on, it's like instant, man. It's instant. They love it. Gotta play. Just stay in the category. So Trey Songz, thank you. Appreciate that album. Let's go.
All right, Iggy, who you got in your who's at number 10 for you?
All right, so 10, I've got this album came out probably about a couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I think. Movie by Danny Lee. And she's kind of one that I didn't really know about because I like a lot of these women that's doing R&B that's on some darker like Janae Aiko and Kailani type vibes. And she's like that, but I couldn't tell if it was generic or if it was legit. But this album is like it's got a concept behind it that's really dope. And she put a video out with it too that kind of matches the album concept, and it's called Movie. So that was my number 10. My number 9 bumped out one of my albums that I and the mid-view review was it is what it is by Thundercat. This one bumped it out because it's a better version and it's got more singing and it's more R&B natural. It's Super Good by Duckworth. And that shit was very, very. It reminded me of a newer age. I don't want to say this because people get crazy, but like Prince, as far as like how just the bounce and the writing and it was good. The concept was good. It flows really well. You got some good features on there too.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, like man, this is the second time that you done came out with, like you said, like you had the Thundercat, and did you say this one replace it? That was both artists with unique and different, distinct sounds, and it seems like you're definitely in that vibe. So they are reaching the different people, but they definitely have a different type of vibe than most artists coming out. So if you're open-minded and you want to hear something different, but I'm telling you, the music all together is very.
I don't know if it's different because it still can, like R&B. I think people try to put R&B under a specific umbrella, and it's not. It's very different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we are considering Weeknd R&B with Trey Songz. They are not the same by any means.
That's not the same.
Trey Songz is number one list, and Weeknd is top 5. They're nowhere near the same in sound. So, you know, Duckworth and Thundercat, yes, they have funk elements, but at the core of their sound, that's R&B. They're R&B. So, Duckworth's R&B. He's talking about one of his songs, Kiss You Right Now, New Love Song, Trickin', Money Dance, Say What You Mean. You know, these are R&B songs, you know what I'm saying? So, like, his sound is a little bit more old school as far as, like, the funk element, but that's still R&B. That's my parents, like, maybe not my parents, but their grand, like, they come up with that kind of art. That was considered R&B to them back then. So it counts for me. So yeah, that's my number 9. Number 8 was Muse for a Feeling Division. You already went over that one. Solid album. Kept it on my playlist. Kept going back to it. And then so that was 7. 7 is Good to Know. JoJo, I had her in my top 5. It stayed there. She actually released a deluxe, and if you like acoustic, like just hearing the natural vocals, she released one for the album for that too. So, and JoJo is I'm glad this was a good year for her. I'm glad she's getting to where she's at as far as the respect, because she's very talented. And she ain't like, I know people on that, you know, remember her from being a little girl, but she's, me and her same way, I think 30. So she's far from that. She's a grown woman, and the project really reflects that. And then
yes, it does.
Kiana, yeah, it does. Kiana Lede.
I'm just saying, bro. Y'all follow her on the gram. Yeah. But I mean, shit, act like we ain't seen. We got eyes.
Kiana Lede is above that. That was also in my top 5 mid-year review. Kiki, she also released a deluxe, and I think she might have I don't know if she has an acoustic or a remix version of the album too. So great year for her as well. I kind of been keeping up with her for the past couple of years, and this was definitely her breakout year. 4th, I didn't even get a chance to review this. So the disrespect that I just heard about this album, I've got to attack that. And this number 4, my Bryson Tiller anniversary. This man Prez said that was a disrespect to the Drake feature. Bro, you're not gonna disrespect Bryson Tiller in my presence, my man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, like I just felt like he misused that Drake feature. That should have been the song on the album, and it wasn't the song. The intro was the song for me on there, and then like those first 6 songs on the album was good. When it came to that Drake one, when you hiding it that deep in the album, man, that should, like, you should know You should know. Come on, man. Like, but overall, I like that project, man. Overall, I like that project.
I would agree with you if he needed that, but he didn't. That was just because they similar in sound. Like Bryson Tiller could have went with a Drake feature and did fine. You know what I'm saying? Because people have
should have.
So timeless interlude, always forever. Inhale. Keep doing what you're doing. Next to You is one of my favorite songs this year. I kept playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Bryson, he finally just stopped listening to everybody trying to hear.
Just put the music out. Just put it out.
Just put it out, man.
Bro.
Just put it out, and I think he's finally maybe at a good spot where we'll hear more. Because honestly, he should be top level R&B to me. Not the trap song, like it should be in between that, where he just took off. You know what I'm saying? He always stayed there.
What was the second album he did that took a different route and just didn't hit the same? Yeah, so
I like that.
Yeah, that album was cool for me. I wasn't mad at it.
I wasn't mad at it, but it wasn't trap soul. Like,
but it
don't need to be. I think it was a really good album. I think coming off of Trap Soul, that's really what it was. It's Trap Soul compared to that. Like Trap Soul was the best album for almost 18 months. Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to get at was like he was trying to make sure that people knew that when he was coming out with this album. If you look at the artwork for it, going from that red to him facing the same one way to now it's a blue with facing, he wanted you to see like, hey man, this may be that same style of trap.
Back in my bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And which he was. Yeah. You know? Yep. And I appreciated that for this album.
But I like the one prior to it. Like I had nothing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I didn't feel any way about it being bad. I just felt like it wasn't trap soul. But how many artists on their second time around actually match that lightning in the bottle that they catch on the first album? But
they gotta keep working.
Yeah, when you settle down and you just listen to it right now, like go back to it now that he's 2 albums removed. And I think
you're gonna like it more.
You will like it.
Yeah. I get what y'all saying. But Black was one of the people that we just talked about that kept elevating this stuff. But you said what artist does that? But I just want to throw that out to Black. Go ahead.
Okay. Fair enough.
My 3 is Janae Anku, Chilumbo, and we kind of went. My 3 we've already went over these, so I can knock them out. But it was good until it wasn't. It was second, Kailani, and then Party Next Door, Party number 1 stayed at the top of my list. My number 1 go-to. The News is like, I know that song. I be singing the hell out of that song in my car. So, yeah, that's my.
With the windows up, though, right?
With the windows down. Really, I'm gonna hear that.
Hear me sing it. He like the little kid at the goddamn at the church. Sing it, baby, sing it. Oh, I sing your heart out.
News to you ain't news to me.
Oh, God. Come on, stop
it.
Make sure we edit that. Make sure we edit that, people.
Oh man.
Cass, that leaves with you, man. What you got?
All right, man. So at number 10, I got my man. I'm going with Brent Faiyaz, Fuck the World. This is one of them joints that I just kept on repeat. Specifically, I got to get to the song. Hold on.
That sounds like a rap album, not an R&B album. But I would just not the title. But
nah, man. But yeah. Make It Out for me was one of them joints off there, Bluffing. Pretty much it's 10 tracks. It's in and out really quick, but I don't think he left anything to really left to the imagination as far as what he's about and where he's going as an artist. So that's my number 10. At number 9, I got my man Xavier Omar, and this album is called If You Feel. So if you listen to that, true R&B. I try to stay to the essence of R&B for the most part, but Xavier Omar is at number 9. And let me get back into my list, being that I tapped out of it. Sorry, people. I got At number 8, I got Tiana Taylor. So I don't think I got in the car with my wife probably maybe 2 times this year since it came out where Tiana Taylor wasn't on it or in her whip or the kids wasn't singing it. Now, don't judge our parenting, you know what I mean, based on some of the subject matter on Tiana Taylor's album, but shit was fire, man. Shit was fire, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. At number 7, we're going to go with Leanne LaHavas. That album was fire, and that album is called, sorry, I should have had these written down, but whatever. It's self-titled. So there you go. Leanne LaHavas. We're going to put this up on a graphic or something like that. So that's fire. At number 6, I got Kailani. It was good until it wasn't. At number 5.
Hey, quick thing. I forgot one of mine, so I just want to interject it in.
You named 10. How you forgot one? I really don't grab that. Like, so you wanted a bonus?
Bonus one?
I was just looking at the list. I was like, let me squeeze that in there. Go ahead.
Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
Where was that? Was at 5? Was that at 5? I think it was at 5. So at 5, I got Ro James. And at 4, I got Jesse Reyes. At 3, I got St. John. At 2, I got Party Next Door.
Knew that was
respect.
And number 1 is Division, man. And it's all off the strength of that song Again. Like,
yeah,
that song is just one of them songs where, man, you been through some shit, been in a relationship, man, like lost a girl, got her back, all that stuff. Like that's one of them songs that could be your anthem, man. Like, so yeah, man.
Man, you trying to narrow it down to one song, and I get that's the one that you came to. But
that's
I'm
the one.
You, that whole album, man. That whole album. When I hit play, man, it's man. That's
I don't skip.
Album,
I don't. My top 4. I don't think I have a skip at all on any of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that good. And that St. John, man, that dude is going places. That dude is going places. And then Party Next Door, after such a long layoff and us wanting his album to come out, and then it finally came out, I was like, oh, okay. This is easily in my top 5 of the year. And it stood there from the time it came out. It was in my mid-year review, and it stood the test of time. Jesse Reyes stood the test of time. Brent Fires stood the test of time. So all dope shit, man. Like, I think we got some differences here, man, as far as our R&B albums. So people got a lot to listen to.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I mean, that's different bag because, some of the stuff I don't think I could ever have Party Next Door on my list, but I mean, I appreciate that you do and you listen to them, man.
For the sake of the segment and not going on and on, I would not respond to the outlandish comments of Mr. Press. Oh man! So I think on this next one, the people we gonna get after it on this next one. The next one, I don't think we got a good look at notes. I think everybody already know where their stuff is at right now, right? Yeah.
We know. Next one is the big one, people. Top 10 rap albums of the year. That's the one that's coming up. Y'all waited. We debated. We battled our own selves about what we're gonna get down and cut down to this list. Because I'm telling you, we can all discuss and saying like, man, I'm at 16. I can't cut no more. Let's do 16. But we narrowed it down. We got 10 of them on there. So that's what we're gonna give you next coming up.